Okay. Hi, everyone. So I've got a lot of questions about just using the Geogebra tool in this problem. So I wanted to show you how to do it. So I'm going to do it in two parts here. First, I'm going to draw it on my iPad and show you what we're thinking about doing. Then I'll come back in and show you how to actually use this Geogebra tool. All right, so give me one moment to pull it up on my iPad here. Oh, I can actually do it. Wait a minute, no, it was the recording that I wanted to post. Okay, so we need the limit as x approaches -4 to be 5. And if we actually plug in -4, it equals 3. So if we remember exactly what the limit means, is that if we approach -4 from one side, we're going to get 5. Okay, we should draw a graph right here. We'll say -4 is about there, and 5 is about there. So from the left-hand side, we have to be approaching -5. The limit's about connecting to things, not about the actual value. We draw this open circle here to represent that at -4, we're actually going to get a different value. But if we drew the graph, actually, we wouldn't actually see this thing. So we know that, and then we also know that the limit from the other side. So if I come at it from this way, it's going to equal 5. So what we're doing is we're thinking about these things in two pieces. Right? I'm saying is if I make any kind of function, I'm doing anything I want. If I come from this way, I'm going to approach 5. And if I come from this way, I'm going to, here, I'll erase that bit. What exactly the function does, everywhere else except from -4, it doesn't matter, right? But we looked at it from two sides. We had an open hole, and then everything was defined that way. And then we had an open hole, and everything was defined that way. Now, if I actually plugged in -4, I would get 3. So if I just make another value there, then I'm just going to place this point in there, and there we go. It's a function. It's defined everywhere. As you approach -4, the y values are approaching 5. But actually at that single point, -4, it's not 5. So we draw a little open hole and then close it up there. Okay, now let me pause the recording and I'll bring back up and we'll do this on the Geogebra tool. Okay, so same thing. We're looking at this point, -4, 5, and I want two sides, right? I need something going on the left side, something going on the right side. It doesn't actually matter which shape you pick. I guess I'll pick this parabola here. And I'm going to want some point here at -4, 5. Right. Oh, no. There. Yeah, -4, 5. And I want to be talking about the left side, so I'll drag this other point over here somewhere. Now, we only want to look at the left-hand side. So the way I do this in Geogebra is I'm going to grab this point here to the left, and I'm going to double-click it. That's going to restrict my domain, right? And I'm only looking at this left side. Now, with this other point, I can either have an open circle, I can click it again, I can have an arrow, meaning it'll just continue that way, or I can click it again and have a closed circle. What I want is just to continue on in that direction, right? So I'm going to keep clicking it until I get an arrow going that way. All right. Here at -4, 5, remember I actually wanted an open hole because at -4, it's actually a different value, 3. So I'm going to cycle through this one until I get an open hole. Okay, so that's going to be my left-hand side. Now I want to do it again to get something else happening on the right-hand side. So I will add one. Again, it can be anything. I don't know, I'll pick a line this time. I'm going to need 1 point. It really doesn't matter at all. I got to get 1 point to go like here. And again, I want to restrict the domain, so I'm only looking at the right-hand side. So I'll go to this A and I'll double-click it. Now on this side, again, I want an arrow for it to continue on. But then here's the important piece. The important piece is that on this left-hand side, we also want a hole, right? As it stands now, we're actually kind of defined there. So I'm going to cycle through it until I get a hole on both sides. Remember, that hole isn't actually there. It's only a representation. So from both sides, I need to know that this endpoint is a hole. Great, then I'll add that. And then the last thing I need to do is just add that single point at negative 4, 3. So I'll pick my point, and I'll drag it over to negative 4, 3. So there we go, f of negative 4 is 3. And the limit as x approaches negative 4 from both the left side and the right side are both equal to 5. Okay, hope that helps. And then I'll find a way to stop the recording. And there it is. Okay, goodbye.